Second place I would never take my dog would be to doggy daycare.
Oh, did she just? She did.
Now, again, I get why you would want to take your dog to a doggy daycare. Maybe you work really long hours. You're, feeling apprehensive about leaving your dog at home for long periods of time without getting walked, exercise, bathroom breaks, those types of things. Or maybe you also are looking to use it as an opportunity for your dog to get tired out for the day or a little bit of socialization. But there's a couple of things you need to think about in terms of the harm that a doggy daycare can bring. So what's at risk? In doggy daycare, you have to really do your research because there's a bunch of different styles out there. Some can be really detrimental to the dog. When you take them to a doggy daycare, in some situations, they are, set loose with a bunch of different dogs, and they're essentially just playing and roughhousing all day long. And in some cases, they're going to the bathroom in the place that they're playing. So they're not actually even going outside. This can lead to confusion for house training. Again, you're not necessarily in control as to the type of dogs that your dog is interacting with. And again, no one's really making your dog do anything all day. So you also have the training aspect that sometimes goes down the toilet as well. It's very easy as a dog trainer to see when students come to classes, the dogs that go to doggy daycare and the dogs that don't, because the dogs that do are typically very distracted by the other dogs. All they want to do is play, and they don't really have much regard for their person. The other thing you want to think about is that your dog could be in a room with a bunch of other dogs, and think about like kids that go to school. You never know what they're going to be exposed to. It's a great place to get kennel cough or other things like that. Just things that you need to be mindful of. So what should you do instead? Again, we're looking to exercise our dog. We're looking to make sure that our dogs get let out on a regular basis. Perhaps you trust somebody that could come into your home to take your dog out a few times a day, or maybe could take your dog for a walk. Again, make sure you hear me there. Somebody that you trust. Make sure that whoever's going to be looking after your dog while you're at work is going to be making sure that they are exposing your dog to safe situations, that understand the commands that you use, all of that for consistency for your dog. So what's the alternative here? You actually have a couple options. Number one, if your dog is crate trained and you can get up 30 minutes earlier in the morning, you could very easily get out, make sure your dog's gone to the washroom. You can do a quick little bit of training, you can do some exercise, and your dog should be able to be crated until you come back from work, depending on your work life and how long you're gone. But if they've had proper exercise, they've gone to the bathroom, they've been fed, all of that, they should have no trouble being crated until you're back. If you are in a situation where you must utilize some type of doggy daycare out there. I know I knocked it before, but there are some businesses that actually run doggy daycare very well. And this means that you need to go and do your research. You need to ask questions like, how many dogs do they have in a session? Do they have crate time? Do they take their dogs to go outside to the washroom? Most importantly, if there's play sessions, do they divide the play sessions? Do they have dog behavior knowledge where they're able to put dogs into specific play groups so that if you have a Chihuahua, they're not being left to, play with a wild and crazy chocolate lab? They need to make sure that they have a lot of knowledge behind them so that 100% when you drop your dog off that your dog's going to be getting great information and they're going to be safe. But again, if you circle back to the first thing, if your dog is crate trained and they're happy and safe in their crate and you've just done a little bit of extra work in the morning, and then when you get home from work, there should be no reason why you need to utilize the doggy daycare.